Hello, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, series number 12. This is day number 26, and our sketch was designed by Ruth Lewenden. If I can find her social media, which it looks like it's actually linked up on below her photo, it will be in the description box below along with this month's playlist. So I am getting pretty short on that bingo card. I have a single photo, distress edges, and no patterned paper left over. So I pulled papers from my counterfeit kit, and there's 3 full size and then a scrap of the black polka dot. I grabbed this picture of my now 18-year-old little girl. I still call her baby, much to her annoyance. And as I was looking at all of these photos of her as a newborn, she was only like 3 or 4, maybe 5 days old at the top in these photos. I could not make myself scrapbook them because I don't have digital copies of them, because I had them taken professionally when we lived in Germany. That was when I was new to a digital camera, and it never occurred to me to ask if I could have digital files from the photographer. I have reached out to that photographer since so that I could get the photos from her, especially the maternity photos, which were taken in a different session, that all I have is a disc that is copyrighted. I can't print anything from it, which is a bummer because some of those photos I would love to print. Anyway, so I sat and scanned these and saved them so that I could cut them down into smaller photos. And as you saw, there's 1 large photo and 3 small, and then a big element here. And it looks like maybe she intended to have a big triangle there. I'm not going to make the big triangle. I can tell you that right off the top. That's not going to happen. And I haven't quite decided the way I'm going to go with this. I don't have embellishments pulled from my kit yet, so those may still get pulled. But I am planning on using hearts instead of stars and fussy cutting some of these hearts out of this pattern paper to use. This piece of pattern paper was actually put into my kit for this side. It is from a Cocoa Daisy kit. I believe it was May's kit. Not positive. May's. Yeah, I think it was May's kit. I only received 3 of those kits, and I canceled my subscription. Not because they're not great kits, but just because they were too themed for my liking. They have a great quality. They have great customer service. Their embellishments are top-notch. There's nothing wrong with their kits. They just weren't a fit for my type of scrapbooking, and that's fine. My slot probably went to somebody else who really wanted it. Anyway, so that's what I have here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started, so I'll be right back. So I took the Cocoa Daisy pattern paper and I cut a great big heart out of it with my Cameo. I am going to be distressing the edges of that as well as the edges of all of my matted photos so that I can mark off that box on my bingo card. That gets me even closer to being done. I also want to make a note that I matted my photos on the other side of the hearts paper that I fussy cut so that I wouldn't have to dig into my stash for another piece of cardstock or pattern paper, and that I would come closer to using up that entire sheet from my June counterfeit kit. I will not be able to get a title up on the side of this large photo because of where I placed my heart and because I placed the photo in a manner where you could still see that it was a giant heart. I didn't want to cover up too much of that heart, so there's not going to be a whole lot of room for a secondary title to go up on that right hand side of the layout. So originally I was planning on only putting 3 photos on this layout and using that middle piece for another embellishment cluster, but in the end I decided that I didn't really like that, and I go ahead and I matte a 3rd photo. They're already cut out, I just needed to matte it and distress the edges. So I'm just kind of layering up these fussy cut heart sets, and I'm going to try to fit this hello on it. It's just too large. It's a shame. I really like that title and it would have worked perfectly, but I didn't want to put it on top of that cute photo of my baby. So I've been trying to addition that love title on several layouts this month, and it just hasn't worked well color-wise for some of the pages I've done this month, and I just haven't used it. But I do love the gold on this layout. It does look really great, and I'm going to add in some of these black, I think I add some of the white chipboard hearts as well. But I also have the Vicky Bouton chipboard pieces. I believe I put in the chipboard from Print Shop as well as Where to Next. Both of those are Vicky Bouton collections, and I managed to get a couple of the pieces of each. Now here you can see the back side of the heart paper. I flipped it over so you could see, and I am going to go ahead and matte that 3rd photo now. And then I decided I wanted to take this card, which is a cut apart from my Pink Fresh Friday layout that went up on June 23rd. I had a whole stack of cut aparts left over, and those were sitting off towards the right hand side of the screen where you can't see. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and fussy cut these 2 little butterflies, and I will add them to this layout because that piece of pattern paper was also from my counterfeit kit, so it still has me using bits and pieces of my June counterfeit kit and get some of those cut aparts off my desktop space. So as I'm fussy cutting this butterfly, I realized these butterflies are not even on both sides. Kind of weirded me out a little bit, but I do like the butterflies on there, and I like that they're black and white because there's a lot of color in this layout already, and it doesn't distract from the rest of my embellishment clusters. So one of the things that I knew I wanted to do was to cover up that word observations on the lower left hand corner of my layout because it really doesn't match with what I'm scrapbooking. So I had this cut apart card still from that layout that I did for Pink Fresh Studios, and I started to just cut out the cloud. The cloud was too for the layout, so I just hand cut, which is one of the rare times that you see me try to cut straight lines by hand. I'm terrible at it, but I do it here, and I'm gonna matte it on another one of those little cut aparts from that sheet of pattern paper. But I'm gonna run this one through my trimmer because I know I'm not gonna get that even at all if I try to do it by hand. And then I'm going to put that on foam adhesive and cover up that word observations on that embellishment cluster. All right, I took it off camera to finish distressing all of the photos. Oops, didn't get that one glued down very well. And I glued everything down, popping some of it up with foam tape or fun foam, glue dots, etc. And hand wrote my journaling underneath the title. I didn't really have room for another title here, so that's where that butterfly went. All in all, I'm pretty happy with the way this layout turned out. And I do get to mark off distress edges from my bingo card, leaving me only 2 more spaces to cross off. So I guess I have to really think about that no pattern paper one and see if I can actually pull it off. But if you don't use pattern paper, can you use pocket cards in place of pattern paper and that still count? I guess that's something to think about. Anyway, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe. I also want to thank you guys for helping me reach 500 subbies on my channel this week. I am so excited about that, and I will be announcing a hop to celebrate that for the month of July here soon on some of the groups that I'm a member of. And I would love it if you would hop along with me either on YouTube or Instagram. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.